something that I had wanted to do for a while. I've talked about favorite albums of mine in the past, and I'm going to start talking about some of them again, but I'm not going to be talking about all of the typical ones. I mean, we all know which ones those are. They're on every Rolling Stone list, and a lot of hip critics put them out there. I'm going to talk about some albums that I loved. Some of these albums that I love, you won't find on critics' lists. You won't find on Rolling Stone's top 100 albums of all time. So I figure, what better way to start with a classic album that I like, that meant a lot to me in my youth, that is not talked about, that I think should be talked about. What better way to start than with Business as Usual by Men at Work? Yes, you heard me right. Business as Usual by Men at Work. I owned this baby on cassette back in the day, and I got the vinyl later on. Now, Men at Work, they became sort of a punchline, even though they did two great albums. I mean, the first album, and I think Cargo, their second album, is underrated. And it's got some great songs on that album too, like It's a Mistake. I mean, Colin Hay is a very good songwriter, and even the ones that he didn't write are good. They had a unique style. Some songs sounded kind of new wavy. Some songs were hard rock. Some songs were even progressive rock oriented. But honestly, every single song on this album is a winner. But they became a punchline like everybody else who wins the Best New Artist award at the Grammys. You know, you never hear from them again, which is not quite true. They had two good albums. The third album, I did kind of lose touch, but with them at that point. The first two albums are brilliant, and I still say Colin Hay is a great songwriter. Look at the songs you got on this album. Who Can It Be Now? Down Under. Everybody knows that. Everybody still plays that song. Everybody still talks about a Vegemite sandwich.
He just smiled and gave me a Vegemite sandwich.
Another good hit song, Be Good Johnny. I still love the video of that song. But some of the underrated gems on this album, people just love to play with words, which I believe the bass player, Roy Stryker, and I think he wrote that. That's a great tune. Catch a Star is another beautiful tune. Down by the Sea, though, is probably my favorite album my favorite song, rather, on this album. It's a beautiful song that just captures what my image of Australia is in my head. That would be sort of a prog song. It's a beautiful tune. A great sax playing in there. I don't know all their names by heart. I never learned all their names by heart. I know Colin Hay, and Ron Stryker, the bass player. Okay, so Greg Ham was the sax and keyboard player. His sax playing is very simple. He doesn't overdo it, but he knows his way around the instrument. I mean, definitely. Jerry Spicer on drums, solid. Solid. But the hero to me is always Colin Hay. His voice and his songs. I mean, just great songwriting on this album. Every song, like I said, is a winner. Some of the songs are political too, but you don't know it because of the poppiness. I remember when it came out. I think it came out in America in '82, and I got it on cassette around the time Cargo was coming out. And it reminds me of a great time. The good thing about music is that it should remind you of a time in your life that maybe wasn't always good, but you look back on it fondly. I have no complaints over this album, and I have no shame in saying that I love this album. I'm not even going to say it's a guilty pleasure, because if it was a guilty pleasure, I wouldn't be talking about it right now. If you haven't given the full album a listen from beginning to end, you should. I mean, great harmonies, Great combination of pop and a bit of new wave technology in there. Just simple playing. The songs are the key and the king, actually. And it's just a beautiful album. And again, you won't find this on a critic's list. In fact, if you ask a hipster critic about it, they'll probably go and laugh at you. But I don't care. Men at Work, business as usual, very good record. And if you haven't heard it and you just heard the hits, hear the whole album from beginning to end. It's a winner. So that's my classic album for today. And I will be doing another one on a monthly basis. Talk to you soon.
And we are the men, and we'll see you again.